I am Michele Lopez. I am a celebrity image and personal branding expert, a lifestyle coach, and a producer of film. And you are about to get to know me with Raven Paris.
So now I want to start off by going into some of your favorite fashion designers. I know you're a stylist, you're very fly, always look good. So let's go into some of your top favorite designers.
I like Chanel. I like Fendi. I'm a boutique girl though. I love boutiques. I'm big on less is more. So it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be Christian. It doesn't have to be the red bottom to me. It doesn't have to be, I like really classic things that
Mhm.
I can add to. Chanel is one of those,
Yeah.
right? But I also um, don't like it when the logo is all over everything. That's not my thing either.
I
I feel
think
like
that's
it's
so ghetto.
ostentatious. Yeah, I feel like we don't have to. I like things that are made in Italy. I like Italian shoes. I like Italian bags. Doesn't even actually have to have a name. It has to just be really good product. So I love Giuseppe. I love YSL. Like, I come from a world of luxury fashion, but
Okay.
in luxury fashion, less is more. And I think sometimes we don't know how to do that. But that's why I've been in this business for 15 years.
No, I love that. So let's go into what actually inspired your love for fashion. Not everyone's good at fashion. I'm like bare minimum. I'm pretty simple, but you like have a passion for it. So where did that come from?
I think that God gives us what he gives us from before we're even here. He said, I already knew you. He formed us for a purpose. And I think the our life is to walk that out, to understand, to find that purpose and to walk that out. And so I didn't even realize that just as a little girl, it was my escape. I would play dress up in the closet. And when I wanted to get away from everyone, and it would be in the middle of the night, I would have these thoughts and get in the closet and dress up in mixed colors and prints. And it was like I envisioned me being somewhere else and somewhere else. And then when I got grown, how I wanted to look and how I wanted to be, right? Because my grandmother was the
Okay.
most fabulous woman in this.
Mm.
I still have not to this day met another woman as fabulous as my grandmother was. So she taught me. She taught me by just taking her with her. She would shop in boutiques. She would always make these comments like, I don't want to see myself coming and going. Why I'm a boutique shopper, why I get things made for my clients. I go to boutiques for my clients because I want it to be one or two and done. I
Mhm.
think fashion and style is about you and how you want to show up and the story that you want to tell, which means that everyone doesn't get to tell the same story. It is
Yeah.
uniquely yours. And so I try to create that because I created it in my closet when I was a little girl, 5, 6, 7 years old.
I love that. No, let's tap into that. So we all have a story, right? We all have experienced something from either a teenager or as a kid that has made us become who we are as grown women.
Yeah.
What was that one experience or moment that you experienced that has shaped you into being who you are now?
Okay, there's a couple of moments. One, when I really found my relationship with God, we try to move around it and get around it. But the reality of it is, that's when I really started understanding the actual truth of who I was.
Mm.
Because our environment and everything around us can shape you into something different.
Yeah.
And where I gained that confidence and that just to be who I am was really understanding how special I am, that there's not one human on this earth like me,
Come
right?
on.
And my grandmother actually fortified that in me. She would, at my worst, when I was like one of them bad kids,
Mm-hmm.
she would say how beautiful and strong and powerful I was and how I was going to reach many women and many lives and the people that are around me will be touched. And I would look at her like, who is this? Like, who are you talking to? It can't be me. It can't. But my reality is that as I grew, that's why it's important that we affirm ourselves and that everything in our environment affirms who we are, our greatness. Because as I grew, I began to actually believe her. You know what I mean? And so that part of just me being bold and fearless and I was a young mother and I had to take care of my three kids on my own and I had to get out there and get it. And so when you don't feel like you have anything to lose,
Yeah.
it's like it got to get better from here. You just like, okay, all right, here we go. And I just had a life of one, being curious, and then two, um, just really betting on myself and God when there was no one else that I had but me and God. You know what I mean? And
No.
so that's really what has shaped my life, to literally be who I am. And of course, there have been so many other events, because as we grow, we shift. And things happen, and it shapes and forms who you are. And then you could
Yeah.
think God was doing one thing, and you like, oops, I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't that. He's doing something else. But that's all of the progression of life. But the power that I found within comes from my faith, and it also comes from me, again, betting on myself and God, knowing like, I got this, we can do this. Like, I'm a co-creator in this thing. Now I say it, you get to bring it to life. So I do what I can, God, you do the rest. He takes what is ordinary, puts his sting on it, and makes it extraordinary. And it could look crazy to other people, like, how she didn't go to college, how she get to, because I know God, boo. That's what favor does. That's what favor does. There's no way to explain that, you know?
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love that. So now let's tap into some superpowers. Right? God gave us all superpowers, but if I could have a magic wand and give you a superpower, what would you want that to be?
I honestly, in my experience, just an abundance of wisdom, because it trumps everything. It trumps everything. When you've got the wisdom of God, honey, you can get the bag, you can pour into people's lives, you can change the things that are around you if you just get the wisdom, if you just hear properly. So for me, it's really about that, because that can gain everything else. It can gain everything else, and it can feed everyone else to change their life, you know?
I love that. No, I love that. So I feel like me coming in now, like I have like technology, right? But technology wasn't always a thing.
Yeah.
We was coming up getting to the industry. So let's talk about basically what was like the one or two tools that you utilized that helped you get into the fashion industry.
Well, one, and here's what I always say, because again, I'm like double your age, and every career that I've had, I've been able to be successful. And one of the main reasons why, and I believe this to my core, is my character and my integrity, and me building real, authentic relationships.
Yeah.
Nothing trumps real, authentic relationships. When you understand that you're of service and that you're there to pour into others' lives, and in return, you get poured into, the reason why, one of the reasons why my career has lasted so long is because I know how to treat people. And I do it in a space that I honor who I am. I speak and tell my truth, but that doesn't mean I dishonor anyone else by doing so. And that's one of the biggest things throughout. But I was in the mortgage industry and was successful, and this and that one thing, that character and that integrity. And the other thing is that goes along with what you see on the outside, Michelle, when I show up and you see all the energy, and people are like, oh, that comes from within. That thing that you see is the stuff that I do that you don't see. Me praying, me sitting still, me asking for wisdom, me pouring into people, me giving, because I understand that's just what I want to do. Those things that you don't see are what really makes the person that you actually do see. And so, yeah, I think that both those things have been really catalysts in me being able to stay successful in both of my careers.
I love that. Now, what are some self-care tips that Michelle like to do to just, take care of Michelle?
I love music. So in the morning, first of all, I learned to meditate. So
Okay.
one of the things that just keeps me focused and grounded is meditation. The other thing that I love doing, not just to keep myself in shape, but honestly, it's a thing that I get to do just for myself, and that's working out. Like, it's just me. It's for me. It's like I'm working out, but it's my prayer time. It's my time to feed into my soul. I love sipping and drinking coffee, tea in the morning, but honey, at night I'm sipping wine. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I think as women and as people we have to get to, and that I am most proud of, is that, and this work is hard, is that I just like who I am. So I like spending time with me, you know? And I think good, bad, ugly, indifferent, that doesn't mean I'm flawed and everything else, but I've just learned to accept all of who I am and like, yeah, you're good, Shell. So I love just chilling by myself. I'll eat by myself, but I do dance around and sing. But then, outside of me helping my clients, what is my downtime? I love to shop. I could go to one store and be there 5 hours by myself now, come out with one thing or nothing. And it's still like when I was younger, therapy for me. It's still what I love to do. And then I love to travel. We haven't been able to do so much of it. But yeah, I wake up curious. So I love to experience new things. But sitting still and just being, favorite thing to do, honey. My favorite.
Wow. I get a sense that you basically you love yourself. You're in love with yourself.
Yeah.
You are your own best friend, and that's very important. All right, last question. What is the newest thing you've learned about yourself during this quarantine?
The newest thing that do I want to say that thing?
Don't hold back.
A couple of things. My tolerance for book has gotten very short.
Come on.
My tolerance for people not supporting each other and just for the inauthentic has gotten really, really low.
Yeah.
One of the things my grandmother used to tell me is love everybody, but choose who you fellowship with. And I've really taken that on as a role. The other thing is that I've learned to say no more because I'm a server and a giver at heart. It's hard sometimes, but people can suck all the life and the energy out of you, but they don't even realize that they don't mean to. They're just calling you because of the giftings and the call that God has on your life. But the reality is we are supposed to be giving out of our overflow. I'm not supposed to be depleted at the end of the day. So I've learned to not answer the phone as much. I have an admin now to put me on a schedule so that I can actually know whether I stop for real. But I mean, on the phone and moving. And I also learned, and I'm transparent. I also learned that some of the things that I thought were healed were not. And there are layers to healing. And it is an everyday process. It doesn't matter how many people I coach, we all have things that we need to constantly work on and grow. And I learned that during this quarantine. It's been good just to sit still and just be. And the only way that you can get there is to say, okay, let me sit still and not rip and run to and fro so that you can hear and pay attention. Pay attention to them things that really, really hurt and you wonder why. Yeah, some stuff still hasn't fully the full manifestation of the healing process hasn't been there. So it's been enlightening for me. It's been good. It's been really good.
No, I love that 110%. I always just love listening to you and watching you. You're just full of just like light and energy. Tell everybody how they can follow you.
Thank you,
how we can continue to support you, of course.
Okay, so my IG is at the Michele Lopez, but Michele is spelled MicheleLopez. My web is michelelopez.com. And if I may, I am doing a 3-day intensive image masterclass at the end of the month. And you can find that on www.showingupforyourself.com. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.